Your place was here. Aditi. We have. Where's Anisha? Aditi. I'll sit quietly. Quiet. Disturb me. Ma'am, I will not sit in front of you. This is my permanent place. Yes, ma'am. I can sit because here also. We have some nation personal. Ma'am, you sit quietly. If you make noise, if you make noise, you remove. I will noise. There is a lot of noise. You can remove us from the class. I got good marks. Hey, I came first. I came first. I can sit here. Not you sit like you putting some. That's why it's changed. अरे वो यूपी के बीच में my partner is Dux on Saturday and his partner is Shivdan and today he threw it down. Talking now. Okay. When will I we were learning about the political parties. Can you tell me how much we have learned? We were doing the different political parties, even on Communist Party of India, Marxist. Okay. I think we will need to open the textbook. Using phone. Britika voting. There are paid Chapter 4. She. We're doing chapter 4, right? अरे इसको को लेके पेन है Yeah, we were here. We are supposed to start with international commerce. Listen, you just tell me what are the functions performed by the political parties? What one function you have to say? Law making. Okay. You
Political parties very simple. Contesting elections. Okay, contest the elections. Any political party, whatever functions you are performing. Prepare manifesto. Okay, policies and programs. Yes. Then form government and forming opposition. Okay. So these all we have already studied. And why do we need political parties also studied? Why do we need political parties? Political parties. See, it was given in the beginning of the lesson. If there is no political party, it will be very difficult.
Difficult to control to run the government.
All the government itself a problem. All will be independent candidates. Who will form the government then? So formation of government will be difficult, and they have local interest only. From where they got elected, they don't have any national policies. All those things we have studied, and we reached to that how many political parties do we need? Can you tell what are the types of party system prevail in the world?
Without seeing notebook.
And ask him.
But he single party.
What is it? Can you give an example of single party system? Which country is having? China. Somebody is helping you.
No, ma'am, he's independent. No, ma'am, he's that freedom single party.
Multiple parties. Example, multi-party system, not multiple.
India.
So why India need multi-party system?
Because there are different many different very big country.
A vast country and having different
It's very difficult to run one single government. So we need
single government, no, single party.
Party. So we
Okay.
need multiple parties to run this vast country.
Then we have come to see that the national parties. How can you define national party? You were absent. That is very good excuse. Yes. Can you tell what is national party? 6% of vote. At least 4 seats. Then 4 state and 4 seat in the Lok Sabha. Okay, this is what a national party.
This
Both
boy.
of you are speaking
I'm asking for notes. This one notes. I was absent.
Okay, then afterwards we start discussing about the national parties. Which all parties we have discussed?
We did not complete.
Bahujana Samaj Party,
International Congress.
International Party.
Parties are not party.
Aam Aadmi Party. We did not complete this Communist Party of India. Marxist. Roll up. Did I zoom in the entire page? My hand here I'm watching it. Just move the slide inside. Yeah.
slide.
The way I'm
It's not searching for.
scroll forward, you will not be able to see that. Just scroll completely to the side.
Ma'am, can you just zoom a little bit?
Yes, listen. Now, next type of party or next party is Communist Party of India and Marxist.
Nazi party.
It is not a Nazi party. Listen very carefully. Last year, socialism, that lesson you have studied Karl Marx ideas.
Yes, Russian Revolution.
Based on that Marx ideas, from the CPI, that is Communist Party of India, one group was split up in 1964 and formed into Communist Party of India Marxist.
Somebody said use करते हो
outside. Let it be, let it be.
Keep it the
इधर ही है
अरे there.
she don't this thing get distracted with that. Okay, so when was this CPIM is formed?
We have
1964. What were the principles of this CPIM? Okay, believes in
Marxism and then
Marxism and Leninism.
Forensic report. एक उधर
Can you just get them and
Ma'am, what did I do? I was you are playing. I am helping. No, ma'am, I am. We don't have. You can take my
Okay. See, Marxism is the principle which was taught by Karl Marx. Leninism was that the same country after that government that Lenin formed the government of Bolsheviks. Bolshevik government was formed in Russia. So that Lenin's principle also was introduced in that ideology. So that party came to be known as CPIM. So 1964 it was formed. It believes in Marxism and Leninism. Second, support socialism, secularism and democracy. These three principles you write there. Support socialism, secularism, secularism and democracy.
socialism, secularism and democracy.
I don't know.
What's it?
Socialism क्या है?
Socialism, secularism and democracy.
Socialism, secularism and opposes imperialism and communalism. So this point is also very important. Opposes. These two principles it opposes. These three principles it supports. Understood or not?
Yes.
So support socialism, democracy and secularism. Opposes imperialism and communalism. Next point. Okay. Then another thing, accept democratic elections as a useful and helpful means for securing the objective of socio-economic justice. See, what is that? Believes in democratic elections. And next is that objective
And they are talking, not me.
Say the aim is to establish socio-economic justice in society as well as economic justice to be maintained. For that purpose, democratic elections to be done. Because there was a group of people who are against.
Now, what is Article 370?
Long back we have discussed.
I just give it to VBA. Ask you for 370.
Now you don't answer, that is, I will answer. So socio-economic justice, that is, in the society justice to be maintained and economic front also justice to be maintained. For that they believe in democratic election. The reason is that there was a group of people who are in China under the leadership of Mao Zedong. So Maoist group, you have heard about in India also Maoist are there. They always
Go against
fight
the government.
against the government, existing government.
They don't want elections. no
Yes, that is why this particular point is given. Did you understand?
democracy. Yes.
Maoists were against that democratic system or democratic form of government. Every time when elections are taking place, these Maoists are creating so much problems in some localities. That is why that particular area is monitored by military always. CRPF and other military units are there. So
They
this
usually active during elections.
yes, enjoys strong support in West Bengal, Tripura, Kerala, etc.
Enjoy support.
West Bengal, Tripura, Kerala. See, they have support in West Bengal, Tripura, and Kerala. Or they enjoy support.
West Bengal.
West Bengal, Tripura, and Kerala. This particular party. See, presently it is the government in Kerala, or it is, that presently Kerala is ruled by this leftist party under the leadership of CPIM, CPI. Forward Bloc is not joined there, and some other parties joined together. It is called Left Front. So that government is ruling in Kerala. But in West Bengal, it was in power for 35 years and afterwards lost. In Tripura also, it had the power for 20 years and afterwards, now it is not having.
So it was a prominent party at some point.
Yes, these all places it is having still hold.
But then why is it only in power in Kerala? Why?
People voted against.
And what's the reason?
Reason means their policies are completely changing. See, they were against imperialism, capitalism and all. Completely they were against capitalism and all. Now their parties are favoring capitalism, establishing capitalist system in the states. Now there is chance that Kerala also they will be eroded. So because the policies are changing, after coming to power, they are making a new policy of their own. The principles are completely changing. So they work among the poor factory workers, farmers, agricultural laborers, and intelligentsia. Who are considered as intelligentsia?
Government agencies?
Intelligentsia. Intelligentsia are that educated classes. So they considered as they are filled with so many ideas and all. So that group. So they may be in different professions, but what they claim that they are having so many ideas about the development.
They are getting support from mainly poor factory.
Actually, earlier these groups were supporting because for them these parties were fighting. But once after getting independence, the governments are making policies and changes are introducing. So these groups are not supporting. Once I have told you that is their main aim was against capitalism. But now those states they established capitalist systems or introduced some factories run by capitalists. So because of that, these particular sections are moving away. Critical of the new economic policy. See this one. New international economic order was introduced. So based on that, new economic policies are introduced by then Congress government. That is 1991. Under the leadership of that finance minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, globalization was introduced. So that policy was called new economic policy. So privatization was allowed to a certain extent. Then only a country can progress. The reason was that earlier 100% public sector investment was there in all the fields. So then the workers were not doing, and these all public sectors are going in losses. So the government realized that 100% investment is not required. Certain percentage to be invested, rest to be allowed to the private parties. Then only competition can come in the field of production. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
So it is little bit economics part today. That is, if private parties are controlling the enterprises, they can make the production in a profitable way. So that is why that particular year they have introduced this privatization, and in turn globalization, liberalization was introduced. So they were against this policy. Clear? New economic order means that one. Before that, only policy was that mixed economy. Have you heard about mixed economy? Public sector and private sector. But very less percentage private sector was there. But when it was introduced, that globalization was introduced in 1991, it allowed that is as many people who can invest, let them invest. That was the policy. There was a reason for that. We know that India was going through a very big economic crisis, and the whole that is gold barrels were surrendered to Britain. So economy had to be reconstructed. That is why that policy was introduced, and these people were against it. Okay. Critical of the new economic policies that allow free flow of foreign capital and goods into the country. Was in power in West Bengal without a break for 34 years. In the 2019 Lok Sabha election, it won about 1.75% of votes and 3 seats. Not a national party, but it had support in different states.
Only 3.
It had support in Andhra Pradesh, it had support in other northeastern states, central part. So many states it had support. So if percentage wise vote, 6% of vote in different states, if they get, they can be voters.
But then they did not.
But 6% of voting state elections, no, it might have voted. That is why it was still. Okay. Did you understand that is CPIM? Clear?
Yes.
No. Not understood. Where are you? Where are you? No, you did not listen.
No, back just give.
Now we are moving to the international conference. Afterwards, we will study. Last week or the previous class also you were absent.
was
No?
random.
So that is why there is no connectivity.
अरे उसमें कोई वीडियो नहीं है।
कोई हाँ वो छुड़ा है मैंने इधर दिखने इसका मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है।
Very good.
मैं तो कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ फोन में नहीं है कुछ नहीं है मेरे को भी इधर दिखने इधर सबको दिखने
Just I'm taking the if you want mark, you have to do.
no I'm
If
doing
you
I'm
want- No, no. In between is almost okay. Huh?
that's good
How much? Good. That way no.
how much
It's good. Good. That your best. So
I got
good is the
27.
beginning.
no better
जल्दी दूसरे रेखा में चलाती है उनके पास पेपर है
Okay.
उनके पेपर
Yes.
30
Indian National Congress.
हाँ,
That's
right.
what that whatever is telling in between don't attend to that. See, Indian National Congress is considered as the oldest party in the world. Not only in India, in the world also it is the oldest party. Because other countries they did not form the political parties. Individually they were contesting. The parties were not. Eh? Bolshevik was a party, it was a group only.
It was a social group, Bolsheviks and Mensheviks.
Workers group were organized.
Indian National
Political party who fought for the national independence. Eh? Afterwards, now Bolsheviks are the.
This was the first organized.
So that is why this party is the oldest party. Clear? So it is present now also. So when was it founded? 1885. Say during the freedom struggle, this Indian National Congress was formed. So when was it founded? 1885. So it is having a long history. But the same way it had undergone lot of ups and downs also. Understood? See, 1885 it was founded. It worked for the freedom struggle, but all through its growth, all through these years, it had faced so many ups and downs. Let us see what are the principles. It played a dominant role in Indian politics at national and state level for several decades after India's independence. Now, we know that when we got independence in 1947, that one constituent assembly was formed to frame the constitution. Do you remember? So that the constituent assembly elected Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru as the first prime minister. So 1947 it had to hand over to the Indian government. So Constituent Assembly selected him as the prime minister. And the first election was held in 1951-52. That time onwards,
Congress was
this particular party was continuing in power. Till his death in 1964, Pandit Nehru was the prime minister. After that, there was a short period. Lal Bahadur Shastri became the prime minister. He was also Indian National Congress personality. Then, after the death of Lal Bahadur Shastri, Indira Gandhi became the prime minister. Indira Gandhi continued from 1966 onwards to 1977. That is in 1975 to 1977 that the emergency was declared. So 1977 one election was held. In that Janata Party came to power. Janata Party, not BJP. Janata Party. Morarji Desai was.
finance minister.
Eh?
He was a
Finest?
finance, not finest.
He was in that, but he formed a separate party, and that party was called the Janata Party.
1967. 1977.
1977. Okay. This Janata Party came to power under the leadership of Morarji Desai. But afterwards, again, it continued only for 3 years. You listen here, I will tell you. Story part. 1951. 1951, the first election was held, and Pandit Nehru became the Prime Minister. 14, he was not elected through formal election. Yes, clear? Now, from 51 or 52 onwards, till 1964, he was the Prime Minister. 1964 to 66, Lal Bahadur Shastri. Now, 1966 to 77, Indira Gandhi. Then afterwards, that election was the Janata Party came to power. Morarji Desai became the Prime Minister. Then afterwards, they could not complete the term. 1980, again that election had taken place.
Resignation or
Resignation? Not a resignation, that the government was dissolved. The parliament was dissolved. So new election had to take place. Okay. So 1980, once again Indira Gandhi came to power, and she was killed in 1984. Emergency of Punjab was not there. It was not emergency. Did you get there? 1980 to 84. Because she was killed, assassinated in 1984. 3 years and Morarji Desai and Janata Party. Morarji Desai. Okay. He was the Prime Minister. Clear? Waiting or not? There's some confusion was there.
And
then 1934 Indira Gandhi came and she was executed in 1984 October 31st. Okay. Now, when she was killed, that particular government was having a term. So, during that time, Rajiv Gandhi was brought in, and next election was held in 1985, normal election. That election, again, that Congress government, that is under the leadership of Rajiv Gandhi. No, election he won for out of 545, no, 540 seats. The Congress got 480 seats. So much vast majority he came to power. When he came to power, that time only that age of election, that means earlier age was 21 years, right to vote was 21. He only reduced it to 18 years. So many good reforms he had introduced.
Wasn't he a very popular leader? Rajiv Gandhi was very popular among people.
He was
He was considered a deity amongst like poets.
because he did some good things. Panchayati Raj system was introduced.
Yeah, it was very good. My mom says that her parents tell her about him.
Because of that, the youth could then he was attracted by the people. Okay. Yes. Now, during that one important incident happened during his reign only. In Sri Lanka, there was big problem. Rajiv Gandhi's
Rain.
reign rule. Okay, what was the in Sri Lanka there was big problem that was we have studied in power sharing lesson. Civil war was there. That they killed. Civil war was there.
Because
That time Sri Lankan government requested India's help.
yeah.
So Indian government sent IPKF, peacekeeping force. Indian peacekeeping
Did we
force.
have the budget to do it back then? Wasn't India itself a very new economy? How could we afford to keep a peacekeeping force for some other territory?
अरे मेरा चप्पल ले लिया मैं पहनना
The chapter
Yes, he took my chapel and gave it up his
sit there.
One check camera man.
अरे शांत से कैमरा लेट्स फोकस ऑन
Whatever is
Check camera.
I am telling you to keep quiet and listen.
I'm listening.
There are so many people who wanted to know about the things.
I'm better with it because you want to involve me.
Yes, be quiet.
Okay. See, Indian peacekeeping force was sent. That is, Indian one section of the army was sent to settle the problem in Sri Lanka.
Again, my
But this
question.
peacekeeping force did all the wrongs in that Sri Lanka because they did very bad or they behaved very badly with the women of that country. So many bad things they have done. So IPKF become unpopular. Because of that revenge, this he lost that he was killed.
Yeah. Yes.
He was in the election campaign in Tamil Nadu. That place only Sri Lankan Tamils only killed Rajiv Gandhi. So we have studied till 1989 the rule of Indian National Congress. Then 1989. Do you remember last year you have studied about VP Singh government came to power?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, for a very short period.
Very short time,
Yeah.
1989 to 1991.
BBC क्या channel?
You just get up.
What did I do?
No,
What did I do?
get up. Come out. No argument. I can now see that what you are doing. Answer camera. No.
I was just asking the name.
No. For that, laughing is not required.
I'm not laughing. I was just asking. They were laughing.
So you are behaving like this.
I am not.
No, I am just finding only in Sanpada class the students are behaving like this. Finally, you have to think that you are going to get a mark. According to that, you will get admission. After all the fun, when you are getting a very bad mark, will you be very happy? No, don't ask me like this. There is no fun in that. These all incidents are not written in the textbook. That is why I was saying you are not interested to hear this. No. Those who are interested, you just raise your hands. Then you are interested, but still this one don't. So 1989, that election, VP Singh government came to power. And this government also could not last long. That is within 2 years, 3 different governments came to power. VP Singh was there, afterwards Chandrasekhar, Charan Singh. These 3 persons become prime ministers during the term of 2 years. Again in the election 1991, you just imagine election means how much money has to be spent. So 1991 election, again the Congress government came to power. That time Narasimha Rao was the prime minister and Dr. Manmohan Singh was the finance minister. That time only all those changes, previous part I have told about new economic policy. He introduced new economic policy that I told the 3 names. Charan Singh's time or that newspaper it used to come like that he is going out with the begging bowls. So that was the condition of our economy. But afterwards, in order to improve our economy, Dr. Manmohan Singh introduced lot of economic reforms. And during that time, there was a Gulf War. Iraq and Kuwait were engaged in the war. And Indian government had to bring back all those Indians who were trapped in that 2 countries. In Kuwait, more than the people who are in one state of India, that many people are working. And that all those people had to be brought back. Just imagine how much economic trouble India had to. But came out with great improvement. And that 5 years completed and 1996. Again, so many parties joined together. First time that the coalition government came to power. 1996. I.K. Gujral was the prime minister. So like that,
party was this?
it was a coalition government. So many parties. It was called as Third Front. It was called as Third Front. It was having so many parties. Understood?
India coalition.
Present day, now we are calling that India coalition like that. Third Front was. So they came to power and hardly they also completed 2 years. Then only first time that Vajpayee came to power and hardly for a few days, 13 days only he could be. Then next election 1999, first BJP government. So 1999 to 2004, first BJP government. So till that time we can find the presence of Indian National Congress as a dominant power and it controlled that administration, the progress of the country, all those things. 2004 to 2014, 2 terms, UPA government under the leadership of Indian National Congress was there. Then we see the fall of Congress. So the whole history, if you are taking, this party has a longest history in politics as well as in power. Got the background? So why we call it as the oldest party? Because it is still in power. The other parties which were there earlier is not in power in any countries. Okay. Before the independence itself, it was there. It was a party which worked for the independence. And no other party at that time formed. That is, in Muslim League was formed, and still Muslim League is there. It is localized party, especially in Kerala. Muslim League is little bit strong. Other areas, that party is no more. So, like that, if you take the picture of that oldest parties, we can find this. Clear? Now, what all are its works? We know that the party sought to build a modern secular. You write this point. The party sought to build sought to build a modern
Yes.
secular democratic republic. Secular, can't you see? Secular democratic republic. Okay, full stop. Then, next point. A centrist party. A centrist. Centrist party. That is neither. That is neither rightist nor leftist. Means right wing or left wing. That ideologically it is not too much rightist or too much leftist. In its ideological orientation.
Leftist.
In its ideological orientation. Okay. The party espouses.
The party
Espouses.
Oh, that's possible.
Secularism and welfare of weaker sections and minorities. Next point. And you know, it supports. It supports. It supports new economic reforms. But with a human face.
What does human actually mean? What does
But according to the need, new economic reforms means a completely globalization, no privatization, no. What are the needs of the people? That is concentrate or focus on middle class.
welfare of the people? The policy should benefit people.
Because just new economic policy means introduction of private sector or fully that private enterprises and all. No, that is what are the needs of the people. Clear? Just
Ma'am, see your ma'am,
4 minutes extra.
ma'am, no 4 minutes. It's 5:20. Come by 5:24.
Mom, come back at
Listen, it's 5:20.
propagate. With the human beings.
ಅದು ಸ್ಕಿಲ್
Yeah,